Cyclone Yas is all set to make landfall today in Odisha. It's expected to make landfall, according to the Met Department, close to Dhamra. Earlier, it was predicted that the landfall will happen at Balasore. The Met Department has said that it will cause maximum damage in Dhamra and Chandabali in Bhadrak and Balasore districts. Now, the Odisha government has evacuated 3.54 lakh people in 7 districts of the state to safer locations. The Met Department has predicted that the cyclone will turn into a very severe cyclonic storm before it makes landfall. It's very likely to really cross north of Odisha and West Bengal coast between Paradeep and Sagar Islands, close to Dhamra and south of Balasore by this noon. So according to the Met Department, landfall will happen this afternoon, but the impact of the cyclone already being felt in several parts of coastal Odisha and West Bengal. The winds are picking up, seas are very rough in the coastal districts, and that's why the officials at this point are ensuring that they're fully prepared for the cyclone. A lot of evacuations that have happened, and remember, this is a double whammy of sorts because you've got these states already battling the COVID crisis. West Bengal is one of the worst affected states right now in the country. And amid this kind of a natural calamity. Let's take this across to our reporters on the ground. Kamaljit Sandhu is joining us live from Balasore in Odisha. We also have Suryagni Roy, who's joining us live from West Bengal, from the Sundarbans. Let me take this across first to Kamaljit. Kamaljit, good morning. Is Odisha fully prepared for Cyclone Yas, expected to make landfall in a few hours?
Cyclone Yas is already knocking on the doors. There's continuous rainfall, high tide, strong gusty winds, 155 km per hour. Behind me are the scenes that you can see. Nobody in sight really. But yes, high tides out here. And if you can see, these are the tin roofs. This is where evacuation has mostly taken place. We've been told up to last evening around 1.5 lakh people have moved to safer areas from the coastal areas. The tin houses, structure houses, these are the ones which are real danger because not only will they collapse, but the tin sheds can really come off and hit anybody. What is of respite is the arrangements being done by the Odisha government and the NDRF. The crucial point here is the COVID hospitals. Several of those people who are admitted are in ICU, on oxygen support or on ventilators. That is where there is a requirement for unabated electricity supply, and that has been taken care of, or so we've been told by the authorities. What is important is the next few hours when the landfall happens, and we've been told Dhamra is the place, and we've seen throughout the night. What we were expecting is the wind speeds up to 185 kilometers. We've been speaking to the NDRF and saying the situation is slightly better, but in hours to come, the wind speed will intensify. We've been seeing trees really swaying from one end to the other. So yes, Yas has knocked on doors of Balasore, but in the next 2-3 hours, the storm and the cyclone will intensify, making things difficult. No electricity since last evening, and this is where things stand as of now. But crucially, Balasore is not really used to these kind of storms. It's the Paradeep which is mostly acquainted with this. But we've seen all this now happening in Balasore and people taking cover inside their homes, and this is how things stand.
All right, Kamaljit, stay safe out there. You can see that the rain is picking up. You've also got very, very rough winds. Remember that Balasore was initially said, the Met Department said that would be where the storm would really hit. Now they're saying it will be Dhamra, but Balasore also will face the brunt of the storm. Let me just show you exactly what the trajectory of this system currently is. It's going to be hitting, as you can see here, the north of Odisha's coast and West Bengal. So these are the areas that will be worst affected. If you look at West Bengal, West East Midnapur, South 24 Parganas district, all of them are going to be affected. In Odisha, it's districts like Balasore and Dhamra that will be worst affected. By this afternoon, the eye of the storm, according to the Met Department, will move inland, and that's when the maximum impact of the cyclone will be felt already, because you've got the outer bands of the clouds hitting the coast. You've already got heavy rains and wind speeds picking up. Let's get you a sense of what the situation currently is in West Bengal. Suryagni Roy is joining us live to tell us of the kind of preparations on the ground. Suryagni, good morning. I can see behind you itself that the wind speeds are quickly picking up. Few hours from now, we're being told by the Met Department things will get worse. What's the situation on the ground?
Well, Akshita, a very good morning to you and all our viewers. But what we need to, firstly tell our viewers is that almost 8,20,000 people have been evacuated from the coastal areas of West Bengal, and where we are, that is South 24 Parganas, the last tip of mainland West Bengal, that is Bokhari. Almost 2,50,000 people have been evacuated by the government agencies over here. And, as rightly you pointed out, the images behind me speaks volumes. Ever since last evening, there has been a huge, difference in the wind speed which we have, felt, and there's a sudden high tide, and these are the, indications that the situation might go out of hand. But when it comes to rainfall, the rainfall isn't that much that we had been expecting, but the winds are extremely high. Now, due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, this entire stretch of the tourist beaches on West Bengal, especially in Digha and South 24 Parganas, areas like these, they have been completely shut down by the government. So there are no tourists over here, only locals and shops and all on the beaches, which have been closed for the past 10-12 days, and people have been asked to move back. But somewhere or the other, we have seen since yesterday that some people do come out of their houses and they try to wander around on the sea beaches, and that is when the administration takes them to task.
Okay.
Coming back to the zone of the landfall, it is between Paradeep in Orissa and Sagar Islands over here in West Bengal, in South 24 Parganas, where we are currently right now. And these areas of South 24 Parganas, Akshita, they have seen multiple cyclones in the past couple of years. Back to you.
All right, Suryagni, we'll keep coming to you for the latest updates. You can see that the wind is picking up there. Suryagni telling us at this point that the rain isn't too bad. In most circumstances of these kind of cyclonic storms, it's the rough winds, the high-speed winds that causes the maximum damage. And as the cyclone Yas is set to hit Odisha, the Indian Army's Eastern Command is also on standby if need be for the rescue and relief operations. A total of 17 integrated cyclone relief columns comprising of specialized personnel with associated equipment and inflatable boats have been deployed. You've also got columns that have been pre-positioned at districts like Purulia, like Jhargram, Birbhum, Bardhaman. You've got West Midnapur, Howrah, Hooghly, all of these districts being covered right now in West Bengal. 9 cyclone relief columns have also been kept on standby at Kolkata for redeployment as necessary in West Bengal and at short notice as well. 4 naval ships are on standby with humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, with diving and medical teams also to render assistance. The naval aircraft has been kept ready at the naval air stations to undertake any aerial survey that's required and to even airdrop any relief material. Kamalji, just give us a sense of the kind of deployment also, because we know that the army at this point is also on standby. The Eastern Command is going to be spearheading the rescue operations and stepping in whenever there is a need.
That there are over 100 teams which have been distributed of NDRF. They've been assisting the state police. Also, one has to understand that yes, the coastal teams, the Navy has to put on standby, but also has a SOP in practice.
Kamaljeet, we're having a bit of a problem with your audio, understandably so, because you've got Kamaljeet joining us from Balasore, which is one of the worst affected districts right now, and you can see that it's raining heavily. The wind speeds are picking up. So Kamaljeet, we'll come across to you in a bit when we're able to connect with you better. But essentially, it's a twin challenge for the state of Odisha, where Kamaljeet is reporting from, because it's bracing for this monster storm in the midst of a second COVID wave. Authorities are on alert. We've been seeing a massive evacuation drive at the coastal areas, but maintaining social distancing in these relief camps, in these relief centers, is proving to be a huge challenge.
The boats are anchored. Fishermen are cocooned in their homes. In Balasore, where Cyclone Yas could have maximum impact, officials are on an overdrive to evacuate as many people as possible.
लगभग हमारा टारगेट है आज पर द पॉपुलेशन जो लोग कच्चा हाउस में रहते हैं 10 से 12,000 लोग हैं जिनको हमको इवैक्यूएशन करना है। ऑलरेडी कल से हम लोग ने स्टार्ट कर दिया है। अराउंड 2,000 लोग इवैक्यूएशन हो चुके हैं और जहां डेंजर जोन है इस एरिया में कोस्टल एरिया में जो गांव है वो पूरा हम लोग खाली करवाएंगे।
At this Mirzapur multi-purpose cyclone relief shelter, the rooms are crammed, but for these villagers, it means a safe haven.
There are small rooms because this is a school which has now been converted into a shelter. Storms are not something which is new to Odisha. They have almost zero casualty. But what is important and significant is that this is now turning out to be a double whammy because social distancing is a challenge. But that too will be taken care of because obviously it's a united effort by all central agencies as well as the state police force that they need to tide by this particular challenge.
Only the fear of COVID infection is playing on their minds.
सब खाना पीना देखना सुनना सब भी ठीक है, कोई तकलीफ नहीं है। लेकिन तकलीफ एक ही बात जो परिष्कार नहीं है। अभी कोरोना का टाइम है, परिष्कार होना जरूरी है। इसको परिष्कार करने के लिए कुछ बंदोबस्त नहीं करते।
The cyclone is coming at a time when many are battling the virus in hospitals.
We have got DG sets, 5 DG sets we have got. That is sufficient power backup is there also. And we have got sufficient dual stock also with their fuels. So there will be no scarcity of the fuels also.
Odisha faces a double whammy, a monster storm and a monster virus together.
That all necessary precautions have been taken for this cyclone.
Now the onus is on the government to maintain life-saving supplies for hospitals in this twin crisis. With Kamaljeet Sandhu in Balasore, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, it's been 6 months since the farmer unions kick-started their agitation against the Modi government over the farm laws. And you've got today the Samyukta Kisan Morcha calling for a nationwide protest against the centre's farm legislation, essentially to mark 6 months of their protest. These protesters will carry out black flag demonstrations. They're expected to burn a lot of effigies. The Kisan Morcha has asked all farmers, labourers and students to back their agitation. The farmers have been asked to wear black turbans and black chunnis. Demonstrations will be held on streets. Slogans are to be raised against the Modi government. They've been demanding that the government roll back the 3 farm laws and bring a new law to guarantee MSP. The question, however, is, can we afford this kind of a mass protest on the streets of the country at a time when we're fighting COVID-19? And here's an exclusive report which reveals how the farmer stir has created COVID hotspots. Several Kisan Mahapanchayats and Andolans in Punjab particularly and in Haryana led to a huge spike in coronavirus cases. The second wave is raging on, claiming several lives. The farmers, however, have made it very clear that they're not going to call off their strike. Here's this exclusive report.
200 days. That's how long the farmers' protest has been raging on. And despite a deadly COVID second wave, the protesters are in no mood to relent. Now, a report accessed exclusively by India Today reveals that the farm stir created COVID hotspots. Kisan Mahapanchayats and Andolans that were held across the states of Punjab and Haryana led to a huge spike in coronavirus cases. Punjab's Bhundar village has been sending a batch of 6 farmers every week to the capital's borders to protest against the 3 farm laws. The village has now been declared a containment zone, with over 138 farmers found to be COVID positive and 6 deaths being reported within a week. There are a dozen such villages including Fapre Bhaika, Joga and Lohgarh that have also been declared containment zones. The story is no different in Haryana. A state government report on COVID infections in villages accessed by India Today found over 804 deaths in 22 Rohtak villages, which are located within 100 kilometers from 3 protest sites. Over 45 villages have been declared containment zones in Haryana.
किसानों से अपील की जा रही थी कि आप बॉर्डर्स पर बैठे हैं, वैक्सीनेशन करा लीजिए, हरियाणा सरकार आपकी मदद करे।
सब बातें तो हमारी अपनी है प्रदेश की, लेकिन जो केंद्रीय नेताओं से मेरी बातचीत हुई है इस संदर्भ में सारे विषयों की जानकारी उनको दी है और इससे सारी बातों को तो एक प्रकार से अवगत कराया गया उनको और सब धैर्य रख करके हम आगे बढ़ेंगे।
10 Haryana villages have witnessed over 239 mysterious deaths in 2 weeks. These villages are located in Hisar, Rohtak, Sonipat, Bhiwani and Jhajjar districts.
जहाँ तक हमारे ज़िले की बात है तो हमारे पबली एरिया का जो बुराई एरिया है इसमें भी केसेस बढ़े हैं और बाकी जो हमारा गन्नौर और कोहना का एरिया था इनमें भी केसेस थे। वैक्सीनेशन वहाँ पे स्टार्ट की गई है तो अभी 2200 के आसपास वहाँ पे वैक्सीनेशन तो कराई। जहाँ कहीं भी मिक्सिंग है वहाँ डेफिनेटली ये तो है कि वहाँ केसेस बढ़ते ही बढ़ते हैं, बिल्कुल बढ़ते हैं।
At the Tikri border, 2 protesters have already died due to COVID-19. Bharatiya Kisan Union Chief Jogendra Singh Ugrahan himself tested positive in March. Several protesters are symptomatic but are refusing to get tested.
डेड बॉडी आई थी बलबीर सिंह सन ऑफ मक्खन सिंह, कुंडली फार्मा एजुकेशन साइट से आई थी, कल रात को आई थी। पुलिस की रिक्वेस्ट थी कि उसका कोविड-19 टेस्ट किया जाए तो वो रैपिड एंटीजन टेस्ट में बॉडी पॉजिटिव आई है।
हमारे 400 के करीब किसान उनकी डेथ हो चुकी है, सभी का आज तक पोस्टमार्टम हुआ है, किसी का कोरोना पॉजिटिव नहीं आया और अब सरकार का एक षड्यंत्र है, सरकार की एक चाल है। किसान को बुखार हुआ ही नहीं तो पुलिस क्यों लिख रही है कि इसको बुखार है 2 दिन से और जानबूझकर ये लिखने के बाद जहाँ पे उसका मतलब कोविड टेस्ट करवाया, जानबूझकर उसका कोविड को पॉजिटिव की रिपोर्ट दी गई सिर्फ आंदोलन को बदनाम करने के लिए।
Besides the crowds at the Delhi border protest sites, over 15 major Kisan rallies, Mahapanchayats and political rallies also contributed to COVID surge. Protesters and farm union leaders fear that the stir will lose its steam if it's called off. But can it continue at the cost of rising infections and deaths due to coronavirus? With Manjeet Sehgal, Bureau Report, India Today.
In a big boost for India's vaccination drive, Moderna's single-dose COVID-19 vaccine is likely to be available in India next year. Moderna is in talks with Cipla for launching the single-dose vaccine by next year, while US giant Pfizer is ready to offer 5 crore doses to India this year. In 2021 itself, Cipla has already expressed interest in procuring 5 crore doses from Moderna for 2022, and the Health Ministry has also been asked to take an early decision on Cipla's request regarding support required by them for the procurement of these doses. The country currently is using 2 made-in-India jabs, Covishield and Covaxin. It's administered 20 crore doses since launching the world's largest vaccination drive in mid-January. A third vaccine, Russian-made Sputnik V's production, has already kicked off. If 2 more vaccines were to enter the market in India, it will significantly ramp up the vaccination process. With that, I'm slipping into a short break here on First Up. We'll continue getting you all the top stories of the day. You can also log on to our website, indiatoday.in, or download the India Today app for the top stories. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.